Hi guys, how you doing? Senior Gaming here and I'm bringing you Immortal Rising with Dariel Soulstone Explained. So if you're Immortal Rising player or perhaps idle gamer, then make sure you subscribe to the channel as I post as often as possible and bring you best tips and advice. And if you enjoy what you see, then hit that like button as well. Alright then guys, so I'm gonna briefly describe a Soulstone system in general and then we're gonna get straight into a Dariel's one in particular. So I'm gonna get straight to the point here, heading into a main menu and then tapping onto a Soulstone. The reason I wanna address one, as this is a first one you're gonna unlock and there are actually 3 Soulstones in total. The main principle is obviously to select a certain abilities, which I'm going to show you in just a second, but you need to be aware that these Soulstone will represent a symbols in the game. So as you see, the Dariel ones as a major ability will boost 2 levels when it comes to retribution. And in order to quickly find it, you're gonna head over into upgrade and the symbol on the very bottom, and this is where you got a core symbol selection. So as you see, retribution is now on level 13, where normally would be on level 11. We've got here tempest as well as fortitude, but that's where today we go in with a Dariel's Soulstone. So I'm gonna head back straight to that main menu. And obviously what else we need to know before we actually jump and enter that very Soulstone. So because you are able to actually reset most of the aspects in the game itself and reallocate your builds on a spot, it's important to craft a Soulstone strategy efficiently. As a Dariel Soulstone is a first one to unlock, as mentioned earlier, we want to focus here on offensive build to progress as much as possible, especially within a starting period of the game. So we're gonna look on as offensive abilities as possible, and then obviously once you unlock a Asmo ones or perhaps a Mephis, which is on Hellfire Gate of Darkness 20, then you can start looking into a more defensive aspect. But the first one, full offensive, that at least is my way to do it. So we also need to be very careful, as all choices made are final and therefore you won't be able to revert it. As you're gonna see a progression in just a second, we're gonna be able to select certain abilities and then we'll have to sacrifice abilities which are gonna be taken away. So basically we're gonna go with a certain criteria to do it. So before we actually jump in, let's just discuss a potential abilities we want to select. And as mentioned, we're going in here a full offense. So when it comes to a major ability, all we need to do is just tap basically on this question mark, and this is where we got a full list. Because major ability is the only one you'll be able to select. We got no choice in here, that stays as retribution. Then when it comes to a minor abilities, because I'm still talking here a full offense, I will be going here for either attack or skill attack. There is obviously plenty of different skills and pets as well associated with. So in my case, because I'm currently using these skills, I will be looking to get either Blizzard, Meteor, or Lighting of Zeus. Actually, I do not use any of the pets on the screen, so if the worst case scenario I've got no other choice, I will just pick a random one to boost that very pet stats and overall obviously grow in my strength as well. And when it comes to a sub abilities, I will be going here with critical chance, critical damage, attack speed, boss damage, cooldown reduction, and finally a move speed in that very order. Obviously once you set yourself on one of the elements, then I would definitely prioritize this element over the one I have just mentioned, but because I'm still running a little bit of a hybrid build, hence this very selection. So without further ado, I'm gonna close that up and now we're gonna enter the Soulstone itself and you'll see that live in action. So you're gonna go across a 15 stages, and as you see on a stage 5, 10 and 15, we're gonna have a boss to fight against. So we're gonna go here with a normal trial. So currently we only got a one option to select, and as you're gonna keep progressing, you're gonna have a multiple one to select from. So we go in with a normal one, and then we can actually go for a quick battle here, because I have done that already. And now we actually need to choose an ability that we want to engrave. So we talked earlier on that one of the selected ones, it's gonna be a boss damage. So I would like to go with this very one. And now actually I need to remove one of the abilities, and actually penetration wasn't one of the desired one on the list. So we're gonna expel that from a soul, and then we progressing further. Obviously, if you got a chance between a normal and potential higher stage, I would always go for as higher stage as possible. This way we got a chance of progressing with a higher tiers of these abilities, because these are normal, so potentially the middle one could be normal, but it could be higher. I will go for this unknown trial. We're gonna select that, and then greetings, and then we actually managed to get a corruption. So this is one of the skills, so we're gonna select that, and actually I don't actually want that, this is not on my desired list, so we're gonna expel that. And then now we progressed already 2 stages. As mentioned earlier, we had a normal, unknown. Now elite is the top tier when it comes to trial. I'm not gonna risk with unknown this time. We're going this very one. Okay, so now we're gonna select everything needed for a battle, and this is still a very offensive set. So we're just going against this very boss. As you see, it took just a few seconds, and now we're gonna be able to select further abilities. Okay, so now, despite this being a B grade and it's actually a better one, again, it's one of the pets I'm actually not using. So I'll be going for a skill damage. And in here, I'll have to now sacrifice something. So I'm actually using all of these together. But as it stands, I'm gonna actually remove a skill itself and then just obviously go further. When it comes to these very selections, this is gonna be a always tough, but we need to consider that attack will apply to everything I'm doing when it comes to normal attack, and skill damage, it will give me a 6% to every single skill I have. Lighting of Zeus is the only one of them, so this way obviously I'm boosting everything together. So we're gonna expel this very one, and then we go in with a next elite trial here. Okay, so progressing into a next fight here. Pretty much I believe this is gonna be a very quick fight. At the moment I'm still very powerful to where I am with the level of these soulstones. Obviously the higher you progress, the harder it's gonna get. Alright then, so again we're gonna select one of them. I'm gonna go with a move speed, and then I knew that we're gonna obviously have to actually remove one, so therefore I'm gonna remove this very one, and then continue progressing with a 5th stage, where now we've got boss to challenge. Okay, so let's go with that. Okay, that took a few more seconds, but still very comfortably done. So we are now 5 out of 15. We're gonna use ice and very quickly remove it. This is not one of our desired abilities, and we go in with the unknown one. There we go. Okay, so in here as well, sometimes you're gonna have abilities which will show you that one of them is already selected. And as you see, if I would have gone with a critical damage, I actually got a higher and better tier of that very skill. So again, I'm gonna use penetration, as I will have to remove one in just a second. So therefore we picking up and expelling, and some of them will often comes to that very area where you'll be selecting and removing the very same one, because now obviously what you do, you aiming for one of the existing skills on a higher tier. So if you get these B or A grades, potentially this obviously gonna be stronger, and you'll have to knock out the weakest one. Okay, so in here potentially the B grade will be a great choice, but again we are not using that very pen, so I'm gonna go with this attack 8%, and as you see, this is already better than the one I already have. So I'm gonna select this one, and now in order to remove it, obviously we go in for a weaker one. Okay, going with a next elite, and we're halfway through already. Again, couple seconds, and we have got that done and dusted. Again, accuracy, take it just for quick expel, and then 3 normal, so it doesn't really matter which one. We're just gonna go and progress. Obviously, as you see, I'm doing all of these fights manually. There is a chance of spending additional event currency, which I'm currently grinding, so I don't want to do it. I prefer to invest some of the time, and obviously at the same time I'm able to share that with you guys. So none of these skills I'm interested with. So again, selecting just for a quick removal, and then we are ready on a stage 10. So let's just go and hit that boss battle. Okay. Alright then, so we got 5 more to go. So this time we got an attack speed, but as you see, these are actually identical. So we're gonna expel and progress. Only one to select from 11th stage. Okay, that's one done and dusted as well. Fire skill again, select and expel. I hope we're gonna get some nice big raid to have at least some upgrade. We already had a couple upgrades, but let's just continue. Okay, just go a few more stages. Alright then guys, and now actually for the very first time I've got A grade ability, and because this is additional 12%, despite I have mentioned I will go full offense here, I believe it will be hard to miss out on this opportunity. So I'm gonna go for damage reduction here, and actually I'm going to get rid of a boss damage for now, and actually I know it will get a little bit of weaken when it comes to a total power, but the 12% is gonna be a good boost. Obviously that will go in the long run, especially in the later stages. You will be investing more and more in defense, but as it stands, obviously as mentioned, I'm going as much offense as possible. But A grade for a C grade, you should be always considering that change. So again, lighting, it's not something I would desire. So now I'm going for a 14th stage, and we just got one more to actually complete and finally get engraved your all abilities. Okay, so that's a stage 13 completed. Okay, so another one just to select and get rid of, and we finally going into a boss trial, stage 15. Actually, this power of the boss itself seems to be stronger than I currently am, but let's see how that goes. It went pretty well, very happy with. And obviously now we're still going with Retribution. This is a chance where you can go with a higher grade of this ability, but we have managed to get that on a very same level. So we're expelling that, and that's pretty much where we are. So as you see, we are now embedded that very abilities, and we've got now a cooldown period before we'll be able to enter again. So when it comes to that, we have managed to squeeze a little bit more attack, and now we have actually managed to squeeze one of the A grade abilities. It's non-offensive as mentioned earlier, but nevertheless it's A grade replaced with a C grade, and that's where I stand. So that will be it guys. I know this video was pretty lengthy, but you are able to go through and sort of see my thinking behind it and how to select best options for your Dariel's Soulstone. Thank you very much guys for watching, and as always, I'll see you next time.